So we'll start off by welcoming, I think the recording started, welcoming everyone to the Seamlss Leads session, and probably wondering who is Clayton Wood. Well, I'm the co-founder of Seamlss. I also have an award-winning business accounting firm here in Albury, and also the owner builder of Escape in Albury, which is something a little bit different because I love solving problems and puzzles for my clients as well. One of the interesting things that I found when doing a bit more research for leads was that firms have a structured process. They're 130% more effective in converting high value clients. Like, to me, that was an impressive stat. And being honest, like most of the firms I talked to have little to no lead management process, much the same as our firm did. There wasn't a whole lot going on there. Obviously, the recent removal of leads in XPM mounted us to add leads to Seamlss, and then this is the next iteration of that to make it a whole lot another level in regards to leads. So going from here, like, why does this matter? Like, why do we care about leads? Like, it's one of the biggest challenges firms face is working with the wrong clients. This process will ensure you're bringing the right clients that align to your firm's services, value, the profitability goals that you have, and having that focus will save you time and just what matters most to you and your clients. A faster onboarding experience. So obviously, if you're collecting some of that lead information, you'll have a better, faster onboarding experience. It'll go from the start to the end as a part of your workflow. Faster, improved client experience. So, you know, like, think about when your client is coming on as a lead, whether you're at a networking event, whether they're finding you online, or whether you're sending an email referral. It's improving that process to make it more efficient for the client, but also for yourself, and making sure that you're funneling them through your process, not willy-nilly changing the process as it goes. So having a system that's scalable, you know, get rid of that manual process, or having no process, which is confusing to your team. I think it's super important. By all means, answer the poll where you're going. That'd be lovely if you can. And you know, when you bring all these elements together, it's going to be make a consistent, scalable approach. So it's consistent for the clients coming in. It's consistent for the team. You've got a system. It's just going to be a stronger, more profitable firm. You know, to empower the team to know the process. So if there's no process, it's confusing. If you have a process and there's a system behind it, the team will be able to do it over and over again. So, you know, where does this come from? Well, hopefully you've done some work. You know who your ideal client is, thinking about industries, demographics, personality traits. You know, are they a small business startup? Are they established? You know, do you have a clear picture of this right now, or is this something you're still refining? And don't get me wrong, like, some people have a specific niche, some people have multiple clients in different areas, different apps, all sorts of things. So you do you know, why do these clients want to work with you? This, you know, understanding their motivation. So when you're doing that leads process, pulling that out and getting that right message across from the beginning of that conversation. You know, it could be understanding different things in that triage process, from income, you know, what's their range of revenue, what's their size, can they afford you, you know, do they have a wallet and are they going to pay you, what is your solution? You know, maybe you're looking for a cheaper online tax return, so therefore you're a low cost, so you're just looking for that low hanging fruit. It could be anything that suits your firm and your goals. You know, maybe it could be the number of employees. Maybe it could be what they're struggling with, putting out there, bigger businesses, bigger problems. But triaging them through and finding those specific points will enable you to have better conversations with your clients. So going from, you know, leads to prospects to customers, to making sure you've got profitable leads that you want to onboard as clients. So, you know, I found in my firm, having the ideal client is always difficult, because you're always like, oh, who do I want to work with? Well, my suggestion is, you know, think about the things that you do want from them. And that could be like, do they embrace cloud tech? Am I a Xero-only or a QuickBooks firm? You know, am I looking for businesses that want to grow and scale? Maybe it's the industry niche where they want to specialize in construction, or I specialize in e-commerce. You know, do they want monthly reporting and I want to be their CFO? Do they want to pay for advisory services? Am I about compliance or do I want to upsell? Are they good clients where they're timely and get back to you really on time? But on the flip side, sometimes thinking about what you want to do and what niche you want to sit in can be quite difficult. So you can also talk to the team, have a brainstorming session and say, well, who do I hate working with? Clients that resist change, they don't have any process, they don't have any automations, they don't like dealing with tech. Small businesses that have no interest in growing, they're just going along where they're going. Maybe that's where you're not sitting. Maybe they're not on zero, so therefore they're off straight from the start. Maybe they're on zero and not on QuickBooks only firm. Making sure whatever you hate working with a client can make that a little bit easier. Do they just want to contact you once a year? Do they not they're very negative mindset. They miss no-shows and miss deadlines all the time. It gets very frustrating. Is this the kind of person you want to work with? One of the quickest ones with a team is, if they hate when the client calls and they say, oh, Bob's on the phone and no one wants to answer the phone and talk to Bob, it's probably a good answer for you right there. We don't want that kind of type of client and no one wants to talk to them. So think about that from your team's point of view and get very clear on who you do and don't want to work with so that you can make that lead triage management process a whole lot smoother. So because they're going to go from leading a lead, prospects, it could be, like I said, it could be they're coming from the website, could be coming from a white paper or a lead magnet, or it could just be at a networking event where you put in the lead information. And it could also depend on what kind of advisory services you're trying to offer, what that marketing tool that you're trying to put out there. It could be just a referral-based process, but trying to narrow that triage process down is crucial in lead management. So that's enough for me on that for today. I will jump into the demo. So here is Seamlss. I'll start on the dashboard. Hopefully everyone can see my screen. Oh, we've still got the leads bit there, sorry. So here is my dashboard. This is my simple lead management area right here. And from this point here, I can start onboarding clients. But the main part around lead management is in the lead manager area. So on a simple basis, we've talked about this in the last webinar, but I'll touch on it briefly. This is the dashboard for leads. So you can see all of my lead information. It's got who, what, where, when. You can add actions, you can edit the client, and you can log different actions and delete the client. You can also just add a client as a lead from here and give them values and things like that, and how good they're going to be, maybe where they come from, maybe you had lunch with them. You can add various tags, and you can assign them to different partners and managers for who's going to manage that lead. Now, that's fair enough and pretty simple, but it's fairly clunky in my mind of someone's got to go in there and manually add that information all the time, and we're all busy. So my goal with this was to try and make that lead management process seamless. And that's where these lead links and lead forms come in. So you can add your own lead link to map it out for your firm. Now for today's demo, I'm going to go through the process for a proactive accounting meeting, so a potential new client. Here is the old lead link form that I had. Now, so it has a unique link just for my firm, has a name and a description, and then I'm going to add a form. So today, it's going to be the lead form for new business. I'm going to add that in there, and actually I might change the name so it looks a bit prettier. New business. Inquiry, I think. So going to add that as the name, and then I'm going to save that lead link. And then I've also got, once they've completed the form, what actions they will take here. So I'm going to save that lead link there. Now that's updated in my lead links, and I can have one, many, depending on what you're doing. So there's a lot of firms with a lot of marketing collateral, and they have a lot of white papers and videos and tools and things to share. And from that, you could send them to different lead links as well. Now, I think these could come before or after, and that's the beauty of it, is that I think there's so much variation that you'll be able to create that I haven't even thought of. I'm excited for that. So basically, here is the lead link here to preview. So this is the page that the client will see. It'll have your branding on it, and the client will fill it in. Now, in today's demo, I've copied this link to my Business Edge website. So this is my accounting firm's website. So I'm going to book a meeting as a client, and I'm looking for a new client. I'm looking for a new accountant. So I'm going to book a proactive accounting meeting. So on my website, they book the proactive accounting meeting, they click on the link, and then they're going to be taken to the lead link page. Now I'll just get my email here that I want to use for the demo. And in this case, I'm going to put a phone number in now. The beauty of this is you might be thinking, oh, I've gone from Clayton's website as a new client, maybe I've come from Google, search, whatever, and then I've gone to this lead link. But you could do this at a networking event. You could be on my web, go to your website, go to the link, put in the details, and submit it. Well, invalid phone number. Excellent. So now that sends off a form to the client. So we've got a bit of a, not two-factor, but you're kind of validating the emails. You don't want junk inquiries filling up your leads. You're kind of trying to make sure that they're going to be valid leads. So this will send an email to Clayton, which he will receive. Here it is now. So as you hopefully you can all see on my screen. So this is my Gmail account. But what I'm trying to get at is whether the client filled it out or you filled it out at a networking meeting, the client's going to get the email and say, oh, welcome aboard, let's get started. You can obviously edit this message as well. So start the form. So here's the form. The business starts filling it out. So Bob's Builder. These are questions that you can ask during the triage. You'll get these templates in your version of Seamlss as well. So I've added a bunch of different lead templates you'll be able to utilize. You can edit them, add your own parts to them for you to edit that out. So hopefully they will fill it out with various answers. So these guys are concreting experts. Hopefully they'll say, I love concrete. They'll answer all the different questions for you in order to triage the client. And that's the whole purpose of this, is to say, what am I looking for? What kind of clients? How do they find out about us? What problems have they got? You're trying to get those key questions answered from a lead so that you know whether you even want to pick up the phone to them. Are they a tie kicker? Are they a new client that I want to work with? Or is it someone that I've got no interest in? So the client will go through, answer all these different questions, and hopefully from these different questions, you can have them that I've built, or you can use your own. It could be home-based. So you kind of get the idea. I'm not going to sit here and bore you with filling out a form all day. I've got phone contact here, and they like to be on the afternoon. Done. So I'm going to save that as a client. So I've gone from my Business Edge website, entered in my lead form. Now I'm going to book my meeting as a client. So for Business Edge, they've now gone from my website, booked in the meeting, and they go, yep, cool. When can I book in with Clayton? And then they'll book it in. So from there, they've booked in a meeting on Calendly, and then that means that when I have the meeting with the client, I can bring up their answers and have a better proactive accounting meeting. I can have better discussions because I've got some information. So we're seeing with Business Edge, we used to do this after they booked in the meeting, and it was really frustrating. It still is really frustrating because they didn't answer all the questions before I got to the meeting. Sometimes they didn't fill it out, and sometimes the team wouldn't be able to cancel the meeting and be like, oh, no, we can't have the meeting because you didn't fill out the pre-work. In this case, they don't even get to have a meeting until they've filled out the pre-work. So I know that I'm going to have a better outcome, and I can triage that client, whether it's a deeper meeting or a very short, sharp meeting. So that's filled out there. I'll just go back into Seamlss now. Here is my meeting leads. So back to the dashboard. Here's Clayton. Here's the lead link that I just filled out. This is when it was created. Here is the information. So here is the document generated. I'm going to view it. can make some discussions and have a look. I can view his answers and see that he answered it. Bob the builder, and ABN, all those sorts of answers and questions that I want in order to be able to have a better meeting with the client and triage. Now, depending on your firm and your position, think about that process. You don't have to send them to Calendly. You don't have to book them in. You don't have to send them somewhere else. They can just fill in information and you can have them as a bunch of leads on your website and triage them as they come in. Maybe you've got a wait list, so therefore they're joining your wait list, which is your leads on here, and you're just triaging them through. Someone's like, oh, this sounds like a person I want to work with. Or maybe it's just a phone call saying, nah, I'm not interested. So you can just go, nah, we rang Clayton, didn't like it. So maybe it's a log a call, called Clayton and told him to go away. So you can action that lead and however you want to process that. Better refresh that now. The actions will be listed there. So there's I told him to go away. So the idea is that you can manage and triage your leads with purpose and an outcome. Now, the next step might be that they filled out this questionnaire online. What is the next step? Well, the next step is I want to send them another form. Maybe I'm going to say, book a meeting. Maybe I'll send them the next triage. Maybe the first triage is a smaller triage form and a bit simpler, but you can send them another form. In this case, I'm going to say it's a new client form. I'm going to add that. I can put more details in here, but basically I'll send that off, and then in here we'll get a notification. Here's Clayton. Here's his next form. So they don't have to fill in the thing to get started. If you've already added them as a lead, you've got their name, phone number, and email. If you've got their email, you can send them these forms to fill out. So right from this point, Clayton can start filling out that form that I just sent, and answer the questions that I want to know. So maybe it's different. Whoops, haircuts. Good finger work on the keyboard, Clayton. And I apologize if I talk too fast. You might have to watch this back on -5. Slow me down a little bit. So hopefully you get the idea on the processes of triaging your leads from today's session that I've touched on briefly. But what I want you to consider is, what is your process? So in this case, that was just one process of collecting a lead, sending them more forms to triage that lead. Obviously, the next step, if they were a good lead client, we want to onboard them. So let's review and onboard from here. So they've gone from a lead magnet, booking, had a meeting, it was awesome. Clayton's awesome. Let's get him on board. We'll add Bob's haircuts. Turns out he's awesome. Let's add him. And then we'll do the ID check. Maybe there's some more forms we want to ask. Turns out he had a capital gain. So we'll put in the capital gains questionnaire because we want to get that when we first onboard Clayton. And then we'll pick our standard engagement letter. Maybe it's this one. And then we'll send him for onboarding. And then he'll start his onboarding request and he'll become a client from there. With the leads dashboard as well, you can manage and sort them all out. If you didn't know, we've added a few more different options here. So you can sort them by leads, managers, partners, won, lost, sort them by columns, all those sorts of things to track and manage your leads. So the idea around this was just making a process that the team can help manage the leads. It's not just all one person, but if it is one person, it is what it is. Back to the lead links. So I think the power is truly in the lead link. In this case, I'm thinking tax planning. So I'm sure everyone in this session has had a tax planning meeting with a client. So in this case, I'm going to do a lead link tax planning for business. Questions? Now, this is, again, going to create my unique lead link for my firm with a landing page and an end result. So the beauty of this lead link, if you consider it, it could be on your website, but more importantly, I feel like for me, this is going to go on my email to my tax planning clients, and I'm going to send it out in an email they're going to click on the link. They're going to fill in the information. I better put the other email in there for myself. Copy. So if they're not already in there, you could also send the tax planning meeting to current clients through Seamlss forms anyway. But in this case, this could just make it a bit more generic and easier. So I'll come back to my links, my emails. Here it is here. So Clayton's got the email. We've got Google. I think I'm on the right one. Which one's the new one? This one. Yeah. So Clayton will start the tax planning minutes and then start giving me the information that I need to do tax planning. So I ask them about financial considerations. Are they planning to buy a new boat, maybe a jet ski, something to deliver the mail with across the river, because that's what we all need. And was that be deductible at Christmas time? 100% it was. But again, I've got the details so that I can have a better tax planning meeting, and then they can book a meeting from that link. You can also put these in forms and things like that within Seamlss, and you can have links within the messaging. So there's different processes there depending on how you're triaging your clients and those forms. The other one I love is the employee one, because you can collect new employee details for bookkeeping clients through Seamlss's form like this. So I could send it to a potential employee. So I'll add the employee form, add it. I probably should put a name in there, like Seamlss's employee link. I click on here, again, open it up. This could be a new Seamlss employee, and they fill out the details, and then they will complete them. So imagine that I'm onboarding Clayton as my new employee. He will go through, fill out the form and the details securely, and not doing it all through email or some odd portal. I'll collect his tax file number, his options, claiming tax-free threshold, all those sorts of questions, banking, super. And then once he's submitted that, I've captured that, and now I can add into my Xero file for doing his payroll.
Clayton, just a quick
yes.
question on the forms.
Yep.
Had a question from Dante who wanted to know, can you make the questions in the forms compulsory?
Yes, it's much as the forms are the exact same forms from Seamlss that we have now. So they are in the form template area, and you'll be able to bring them in and add them, build them, create them, and select them. So if you noticed when I was in the lead area, when I'm adding different forms to this space here, if I go manage a new lead link, add a form, these are all the forms within Seamlss that are available to me. And you just have to edit them before you're going to add them and create them in a lead link position. Obviously, if you edit the form later, then that's going to edit the form that's sent out here as well. So you've got to be mindful that you're creating a process here. It's not just random, let's send this form randomly to the different people, trying to create a structured, systemized process. Got some other questions here. Hopefully, maybe. Yes, you can be compulsory. Stole my question. So I think that just kind of wraps it up, but you're kind of getting the idea that we're going from leads, triaging them, to onboarding a client with Seamlss, and how you can manage your leads, capture more leads in different various ways. So from my perspective, it could be you have the lead link on your website. It could be coming from Calendly. So when Calendly sends the email to the client, says, hey, can you book an email, book a meeting here, you could send it to Calendly. On the flip side, if you're using Zapier, the Zapier leads will come in here when they book in for a meeting, and then you can send them a form to fill out before they have that new client meeting. It could be a tax return form. So you're sending out, someone's booked in for an ITR, so you send them the ITR form to collect the data so that before they have the meeting, you've got the data, you've onboarded them, and you can do half the job before that. Go back to my part here. So the idea with the leads manager is just to automate and simplify that whole lead management process. So you've got a process to capture leads and manage them and triage them without overwhelming your team. You can then go from leads to onboarding, doing their engagement letter, gather more data, do your ID verification, collect the key client information to inject into your software, whether it's XPM or Logic or something else. So, you know, the quality of leads you'll be able to capture more easily and qualify those leads, and that's the whole purpose around this. So you can get a bit of faster onboarding process. I know in a few firms where they will ring and triage them beforehand. There's a clear pipeline of visibility for your team. So again, that system and process and repeatable. You can create a bit of a follow-up process with the team to suggest them around the actions and the dates. And ideally, you'll be able to scale this and grow your firm more with a task and process behind it. I think Sean just put up another poll.
Yes, that's right, Clayton. Put up another poll for if you would like a follow-up session with our team. Yeah, feel free to just tick one of those boxes and submit, and we'll be in touch with you either way if you'd like to, or if you have, if this session's been enough for you, then we're happy to leave it there too. So there's just a poll there if you'd like to vote on that as well.
I guess the key from this slide is what are you doing now? How are you doing it? Do you have a process? Is there a process? Is there a tool that you're using? If you like, you can book a demo with me, and we can go through that process. If you'd like to book a demo, you can click on the, no, you can't click on that, but you can definitely use your phone in your pocket to go to the link for the QR code if you like, and put it in the chat. So if you'd like to book a demo, I can do a demo and we can go through the process. If you're a current firm, jump in, start using it. If you need some help, reach out, jump on the emails, and everyone knows I'm happy to help out. Has anybody got any other questions? Yeah, success is in the details. So if you can automate those small tasks, you can focus on the bigger things with the clients. And I think that's key is, you know, sometimes when you're having a meeting with someone, you don't want to be asking some of those questions that sometimes you don't always remember when you're in the meeting or on the fly. So if you've got a specific triaging template, when the person is even trying to book a meeting from you to take up your valuable time, you'll be able to call them, triage them, and process them through as a lead. That is the demo and today's leads session. Thank you so much. There will be a copy of the recording. Yes, I will put the recording on YouTube, and I'll email it out to everyone for the people that did attend or didn't. I think that's about it. So thank you. Appreciate all your time. Hopefully we'll catch up soon and keep building more cool stuff. Thank you. I'll end the recording.